High ticket closer and you make less than $15,000 a month, you have zero excuses to why you don't watch this video in full, especially if you clicked on it because you want to get better at high ticket sales. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tristan Steckler. I've been doing high ticket for 4 years now. I've closed millions and I help people just like you take your skill set from where you're at to where you actually want to be. Watch the video in full, take notes, pen and paper, and I promise you if you implement what I teach, you will make more money. Enjoy.
You want to skip to 11 minutes in because he joined with his phone, and because I didn't have a call after, I was like, he mentioned, do you want me to join on my laptop? So it was just waiting around for him to set the laptop up.
All right, cool. Do you want to give us a little context on the
Yeah,
lead?
so the guy, he was been trading for 3 years, very minimally. So just doing a little bit here and there. Made around 600 a month, then could lose it potentially, and then $500 a month, lose it again potentially. Very up and down, no consistent results. But he's already got like a steady stream of income. And he said to me, he was like, listen man, I'm not one of your not typical guys who's come in and it's called out of desperation. I just want another source of income. Because, as I know people that make millions with it. I know it's a really good thing. And, that's basically the gist of this guy.
All right, let's get into it.
Hello.
Hello?
I can hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
11,
Perfect. I can
skip
hear you
to
now, but
11
can't
minutes,
see.
Tristan.
Well, yeah, but I mean, once you learn,
Hmm. Doesn't happen. So, Simon, for you, what is it you're actually looking to accomplish through trading?
um, really just get better at it, learn it more. Yeah, learn it more. I mean, understand it more.
Okay.
Um,
So, what's the
that,
goal?
that's the main thing. I mean, of course, to make some profit from it. Why else would you put your money in risk? But the main thing is to learn it as a trade. So
Okay.
so I
So,
can be making money anywhere with it mainly.
okay. So, essentially, it's to get good enough to make more money.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, once you learn something, it could be sky's the limit once you learn that specific business. So that's the main thing, is to understand the trade of that business and capitalize on that business, just like how I do any other business.
Pause.
Okay.
I love his little chain he's got going.
So he goes in saying, I just want to learn trading to learn it and get better. Okay, well, no shit. But and then you got into, he wants to make money, but what's his motivation behind wanting to make money? Because anybody wants to make money. That's why they do these opportunities. But like, aside from the ones and zeros, like, why do they want to make money? He's trying to downplay things a lot right now and make things seem as if like they're not as important as they really are to him. Because he probably, maybe he's been on sales calls before. Maybe he's naturally skeptical. Who knows? So we need to like break through that, or else we're going to continue the rest of the call with like these wishy-washy, like non-buyers answers. So we want to understand why he wants to make more money. What's behind that?
So, where do you want to be in terms of income on a monthly basis with trading?
If I can get to the space of at least probably like 20K a month in that sense. I mean, I believe that's
Pause again.
shooting low.
Why if I can get to 20K a month? I believe he was about to say, I believe that's shooting long, which he's implying that he doesn't believe it's attainable. So that's already like a limiting belief there, doubting himself and his own ability, if it's even possible. That's what's standing out so far.
Yeah, he seems to have very low intent as well, which this is the second time I've watched a call of yours where the lead has pretty much zero intent being on the call.
Low.
Okay.
But
So, where are you at now then?
I'm no
Waffle waffle.
no expert.
You see how, like, at the beginning, he's very much out of the frame, and you ask him how much he's making right now, and he sits in the frame.
I think that's because with Google, because I have to use Google Meet when there's because I have the Fathom in there. If the Fathom wasn't in there, I could see the whole thing, but it just shut. So like, let's say we was on Google Meet with a lot of people, you could only see where I'm blocked between my hands, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
It doesn't even look like he's looking at you though.
Yeah.
He's just like wandering off.
hmm Yeah, he's sitting on the couch, with his chain on.
Since I mean, I believe that's shooting low.
Okay.
But
He believes that's shooting low.
Ooh, but he still said if I can get to 20K a month, but I believe that's
Mhm.
shooting low. That doesn't really make sense, does it?
Yeah, it's contradictory.
So
Interesting.
where are you at now then?
oh, I
Well,
I'm no expert
no expert.
Didn't
at
say
it
you
now.
were.
I make a couple hundreds here, I lose a couple hundreds here. I make a couple hundreds here, I lose a couple hundreds here. But as I make it, when I make it and I lose it, I can tell that it's a business that can be very profitable if you understand it the right way. You
Okay,
know,
so how much are you actually
Pause.
making per month with
What the fuck does that even mean? I make a couple hundreds here, lose a couple hundreds there. Like, what? Like, I have no idea what that means.
I
You
do
know?
dive into that. Because I wanted, he kept saying, I'll make 500, win and lose. So I really wanted to clarify, okay, do you actually lose it again shortly? Because you said you made, 600 last month. Have you since lost that 600 since trading? I wanted to get really trying to find out what it actually mean.
Yeah. And people will tell you these like ambiguous answers over money when they're trying to like not tell you how much they actually make, or they're trying to confuse you because they're ashamed of how much they're making or not making. So he's going to
Mhm.
say these things to like try to like confuse you where you don't even understand, as a way to just deflect it.
Yeah.
trading now?
not much. Probably I don't know, probably like $500, $400.
Okay, and is that profit or just what you made and then you maybe lose that?
Yeah, it's back and forth. Sometimes I make it, then I lose it.
How much profit did you make last month with trading?
Probably like 600.
Okay, and how much profit the month before that?
Probably like 500, but then I lost. I probably lost. But I went back and forth, and then I lost.
So that 600 last month, was that purely profit, or have you lost that since?
You're really sitting on him with the whole profit thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the reasoning?
So is that good or bad?
He's not making any money with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I'm just wondering at this point, like, would you try to get context of how much money he's making in general to like get behind, okay, why trading now to be that route, and also like just to get the clarity?
Well, something's paying for that chain on his neck, but it's not as important right now. How long has this guy been doing trading for?
3 years,
3 years?
but like very minimally because he has a consultancy business. And I asked like, how much do you make from that? And it was like, sometimes 50K a month, sometimes not as much. So then I asked him like, how much did you make last month? 5K.
Yeah.
And I, okay. Well, how much the month before that? He says 40K. So
Okay. So he's not
Yeah.
making money.
Yeah.
50K was probably like the most he made.
I
And
asked him, was that without how often does that happen? You make 50K a month. He says, not too often. I say, okay, except for like the one-off high months, what are you typically averaging? And then he was like 30K.
bullshit.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
I mean,
There's
if
a
he's already
driver.
telling you like I'm making 200, losing 200, like I'm not going to believe anything else he says after that.
Misha?
When he was asking questions, or when Fraser was asking questions about profit, and you can kind of see him looking up and like trying to remember the numbers, would you have inquired if he actually keeps track? I just asked him, like, I noticed that was you really had to think about it. Are you keeping track of your profit?
You could. I mean, he's not, but you could.
Mhm.
But we need to figure out why this guy's trying to get into trading if he has a consulting business. What is driving him to do that? Because how long has he been in consulting for? Running his own business. He's trying to do something else on the side. If he was doing $50,000 a month, why would he not just double down on his consulting business to scale it? There has to be something in his mind that has him hesitant to doing so. Could be time freedom, could be volatility. There's something there that we want to understand that's driving him at this point. Could be family. I don't know. But pinning him on like profit margin, not as important for this guy.
This month I lost some of it only because of, I stayed in the trade. I did too many, if you don't have to, I'm with Robinhood, so if you don't have the 25K, you can't be a daily, day-to-day trader. So sometimes you sit there and then,
Okay, so how much of that 600 have you lost since?
Oh, probably like 300 or something like that. Probably half or more.
Okay, and then that 500 you made the month before last,
Mhm.
you lost some of it. Did you just break even the month before that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so your goal at the minute is to make 20K a month.
Yeah.
And why 20K a month specifically?
Hmm?
Why 20K a month specifically?
Oh, because it will at least get you 20, 25K, something like that. That's at least $250,000 a year,
Okay.
To me, if you could profit $250,000 on a business, is a good business.
Okay, but I guess we're making $250,000 a year. That's just a number at the end of the day. But why do you want to make that number specifically?
Okay.
Oh no, I mean, to me, no specific reason. It's just
Pacific.
I've been in business for I've been an entrepreneur probably for like 14, 15 years.
Looks like it.
Entrepreneur.
Whenever a business could bring in $250,000 of profit a year, it's just a good business. That's a good number to me.
Okay. So, a entrepreneur for the last 14 years. Is that with one business, or can you unpack that a bit for me, please?
One business. I'm a consultant.
Okay, nice. I'm doing what's that consulting in?
I help people finance deals, real estate, help them get business funding, business loans, startup costs. I'm contracted probably with over 100 lenders, so.
Okay. So you've been doing that for the last 14 years. Okay, nice. And how much are you sort of making on a monthly basis with that?
Everything is up and down, so.
Okay. What sort of rate?
Could be. Yeah.
So it's like this guy's all over the place. Yeah. And why does he feel the need to tell us that he's been an entrepreneur for 15 years and he's working with hundreds of lenders? Like, why is it important for him to let us know that? Like, what does he want us to know about him? What does he want us to feel about this guy?
He's successful.
Okay. And people that feel the need to tell people these things, are they actually successful?
No.
Okay. He's most likely just insecure because he's just not doing what he says he's doing. And he's giving you such generic answers over money. Everything is up and down. What does that mean? It's like the third time he said that already. It's like he's deflecting it because the reality is, behind the mask, he's making fuck all. That's it.
Yeah. You have to get granular with this guy.
We're talking.
So, some months is good, some months is down. Some months you can make 50K, some months you can make
Some months you can make, generalize.
5K.
And have you ever made 50K?
Yeah.
Okay. So he says some months you can make 50K, some months you make 5K. I'm like, how many months out of the 12 months last year did you make $50,000? Okay. And how many months out of the 12 months do you make $5,000? And if the math is not mathing, then you would just say, okay, total income last year from the consulting business, what was that annual? What was that after expenses and taxes? But you got to chunk down. There has to be a reason. Okay, someone making that amount of money, what's driving you at this point to want to learn a different trade to increase your income? I need to figure out why he's on the call. Because so far, he's trying to take the frame of I'm a business owner and I just want to find more ways to make more money because I'm a business owner and I'm an entrepreneur. But we know that that's not the truth.
Yeah. Why do you want to make 25K a month? Oh, because that's 250K a year. Well, thanks. I didn't ask you to do a math equation for me. Why do you want to make 250K a year?
Yeah.
Because it's a good number. What does that even mean? Well, like, why? That's what I want to know. Because then now we're getting like a bit too deep into the weeds about money.
Mhm.
And it's just going to leave us stuck because he's not really giving us anything about money. Let's figure out the why, like why he wants to make more money. That's what I
What's
want to know.
driving him? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's driving him to increase his income by $250,000 a year? Evandro?
When you guys diagnose that people are being around the bush and not being truthful and lying, let's just call it, internally, what do you tell yourself? You don't call them out, but how do you keep yourself calm, and what do you tell yourself when you see liars like that? Let's call it.
Itai?
I mean, what's going through your mind is like, this guy's only telling me these things because like he really is like ashamed and disappointed with how he's really doing. So he's going to do everything in his power to put on a mask to make me believe that he's somebody that he's not. So us being like, 5, 10 steps ahead of him, like we know that this guy is trying to paint a facade, right? At a certain point, I've done this. Tristan has done this like many, many times as well. Like we can just like pause the call for a second, and be like, hey, like I just want to like put a pause for a second. Like none of what you're saying is making any sense to me. And it's either I'm very, very bad at listening, which I know I'm not, or you're just lying to me. And you can call that out. That's not rude. That's not disrespectful. It's actually helping them, believe it or not. Because like they come on the call for a reason, right? There's something in their current situation that isn't serving them. So that's why they reached out and got on a call. Now, if they're going to make this difficult for us, how are we going to help them? We can't. So the only way is we try to break through that mask and call it out, especially, I mean, at this point, I would already, because he's just been saying so many things that just don't make sense, that don't add up. It's either I'm going to spend the next 40 minutes of the call being stuck, which my time is too valuable for me to do that, or we're going to figure it out here and now and actually figure out what's going on, or just leave. Your choice.
Yeah, with this type of guy, he actually values direct feedback. And in his brain, he has some type of concern or apprehension to working with a company like us, and he's looking for reasons to validate his own concerns. So when you pause the call and you drop your shorts, it does the opposite of what you think it would do, because you're showing him that we value these types of conversations and we're only going to work with a certain type of person. And that person is going to conform to us and they're going to follow our lead.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this relationship is not going to work.
Yeah. That's how you build respect, by the way.
Yes. He doesn't respect you. That's why he's beating around the bush and giving you very general answers. He doesn't respect a lot of people. A lot of people respect him, or so he thinks, or so he wants. But when you press him, because think about it, a lot of these types of personalities, they surround themselves with people who are yes men. They just cave immediately. There's no pushback. They just submit. So when we do the opposite, we gain his respect. And through gaining his respect, we gain his trust. That's why I'm saying chunking down and getting granular, not moving on. Because if you just keep getting these fluffy buzzword answers over and over and over again, what kind of results are you going to get? More of the same, which is not what you want, because you don't know what's going on. And if you're confused, you can tell them that, because you're trying to lead them, and you can't lead them if you have no idea where they're coming from or what they want. Let's keep going.
Okay, nice. Is that like a frequent thing for you to make 50K a month?
You're with the wrong type of guy, dude. You're giving him like a silver platter of allowing him to continue in this BS that he's giving us right now. You're giving him a yes or no. And if he's really a prideful guy, he's going to say yes, even if that's not true. So that's why I'm saying, okay, there are 12 months in a year. You run a consulting business that's up and down. You're not salary. I know how that works. So out of the 12 months, how many of those months did you hit $50,000 or more within your consulting business? And you can chunk it down. Like, how does that even work? How does a consulting business work?
I did eventually ask. I was like, because I know the months were up and down. I was like, okay, so you've been doing it for the last 14 years. What are you sort of making per year then? Because that should sort of be, obviously, give me a better idea. of where he's at.
Mm-hmm. Trunk down. Don't be afraid to lift up the hood because it's not making sense right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not frequent. I mean, but it just depends.
Okay. So
The only reason he won't open up to you, dude, is because he's embarrassed of the answer he has to give you.
Yeah.
What does it depend on? But when you really start pressing him, that's where that ego is going to come out. He's going to be like, well, dude, what's the point of these questions? Like, can you just tell me what you do already? Like, why are we still talking about me? The only reason that would happen is if he's broke or he doesn't like the answer he has to give you. He doesn't want to be held accountable. A lot of these guys, they're not held accountable. They just do whatever they want and people just submit. But that's not how this is going to work. It's not how this is going to work because he would come into our process and he would start telling us how things are going to go, and that's not going to be effective. Only one of us can lead in this relationship.
So except for obviously put aside the the odd few months here and there where you can do really well, what are we sort of looking at you making around a month now with your current income?
I'd be like, dude, we're on day 17 of this month. How much are you going to make this month? Because he's on the call because things are starting to go down. If things were going up, he wouldn't have time for a call like this. Just realize that.
20, 30.
20 to 30.
20, 30 is a big range.
20 or 30?
Yeah, 20 or 30. What is it?
30K.
Yeah.
And so is that what you made last month then?
You're giving them yes or no ways out. He can say yes or he can say no. So you want answers. You want data. You would say, what did you make last month? What did you make last month? What was the take home on that?
Yeah.
So you chunked down earlier with the trading stuff, but the trading stuff doesn't matter because he doesn't know how to trade.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah,
So-
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, if he would have came on the call and been like, yeah, I don't really know a lot about this trading stuff. I just saw this on the internet. I'm interested in learning more. Then you wouldn't have chunked down as much, but you would want to chunk down on current income.
Yeah,
With
but that's
the
what I
consulting
thought you
business.
meant. Obviously, getting granular. I was just trying to really understand what he's
Sure.
making with trading.
That's okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, not too
But-
much like
Okay.
last
And
month. Right.
yeah, last
Because he's being honest with you, dude. Most of these guys are not honest. They lie through their teeth. And then you're still just as confused as you were 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
month, if you don't mind me asking.
Probably not much. Probably like 5.
Gosh, come on, man. Take that chain off. Go pawn that thing. Let's have a real conversation.
5K. Okay. And just obviously the last one, what about the month before that? Anyway, nearly 20K a month.
So Fraser,
before.
pause or Tristan, pause.
Mhm.
When he says 5, right? So up until now, he was saying 20K, 30K, like all these big numbers. And then he just said 5. I would have just to like let him know that like, hey, like you've been lying through your teeth up like the entire time. I would just pause there for a second, and be like, 5. That's a lot different than 20 to 30K, isn't it? I would just sit there. I would just stare at him until he feels uncomfortable. And I'd be like, well, 5's a long way from 20 to 30, isn't it? Where do we get those numbers from? Because something's not adding up right now. That's what I would say.
Sam.
So, Tristan Nita, I get where this conversation is going, and I get what Fraser's trying to do in this portion, but like, does this even matter? Like, we're talking about this guy's consulting business, and he's making like $500 a month. It's a lot lower than even 5K a month in his business that he's making. And we're here to talk about him sucking at trading for the last 3 years. So I feel like we're getting, issued way off the reservation here and talking about something that doesn't matter. I know we're pressing into ego here, but to me, this just seems completely unnecessary.
I hear what you're saying. It sounds more unnecessary than it is. It's just taking too long here. But I need him to tell me like things are not working with the consulting business. That's
Right.
why I'm looking into other vehicles to make more money because it's not
Yeah.
working and hasn't been working for a long time.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I think I get where he's coming from. It's just like the last thing I want to do is get in like a pissing contest with this guy about something
Sure.
that doesn't even matter,
Why does it matter?
Well,
You
it
know,
matters
Mark.
because his business is not doing well, to your point, and he's on the call he wouldn't be on the call with him if his
Yeah,
business
he's been doing it for
so,
14 years.
yeah.
14 years. And in my mind, I'm like, my job's to serve this guy. So if he's been in business for 14 years, I mean, how many of the 14 years have been like this year where he's doing $5,000 in a month rather than the $50,000 that he so claims, which we all know in business, $50,000 is the most amount of money he's ever made. They all use it as a leverage point. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, why are you not just looking for outside help to improve systems or leads or acquisition for your consulting business? Why are you trying to get into a completely different business? Because if we don't have these conversations, then everything remains surface level and he doesn't trust me and he doesn't open up about why he's actually here. None of the conversations will land anyway. So this is where I would just continue to press, and it's either going to be a DQ or he's going to fully submit, but we're not going to continue this conversation surface level like it is right now.
Right. Right. Gotcha.
One thing I
would
want
have.
to point out, Sam,
Yeah.
the reason why we're so stuck in this like loop of money and how much money he's making, this, and that, is because when Fraser asked him, like, you know, in the very beginning, like, why do you want to do trading? He just told him money. He just like moved on and he accepted it.
Right. Yeah.
And Fraser, like, if you got like more clarity on like what's behind him wanting to make more money and why it's so important to him, you would have gotten a lot more clarity on what it is that he wants, and what it is that he doesn't have. And because you'd get clarity on that, you'd be able to probe on like how his current situation isn't serving him and how long that's been going on for. At that point, we're not really even talking about trading or his stupid ass consulting business. Like, we're talking about like him, right?
Yeah,
We're
because
talking
then,
about
then
him.
the numbers, then the numbers really don't matter if we're talking about him. That's what I was
Right.
focused. Yeah, gotcha.
So that's like why we're like too deep into the weeds here, like with money.
Yeah.
Do you get that, Fraser?
Yeah, no, that makes sense because obviously I fluffed at the beginning of the call. But just to your earlier point of questioning, where you said you made 20 to 30K a month, you made five. What I asked then, okay, and what did you make the month before that?
Mm.
And then he'll say 40. So that's why I didn't question the five.
Mm.
I think that's ego, though. I think he's capping, dude. How do you go from 40 to 5?
Yeah.
Like, what type of systems does this guy have in place? That doesn't make any sense. He's a consultant. He's a consultant, meaning they pay him for a certain duration of time, right? So there's something broken. Like, you have to think about this. If I'm a consultant, which I am, like, people pay me 5, 10, 15 grand for consulting. That's for a duration of time, meaning the time that I would have had to take sales calls to acquire more clients is now being eaten up by the time in which I'm fulfilling for the client that paid me $15,000. So there's something he's not telling you, which would make sense. He goes from 40 to 5. That tells me that all of his time is being taken by the clients he's fulfilling for. That's why he can't acquire more clients, which makes the business very hard to sustain long term. So there's something he's not telling you. That's why you have to get below the hood to understand what's actually going on and why he's trying to do trading. He's been trying to do trading for 3 years. He's only making $500 a month. How's that even possible?
Yeah.
How's that even possible? So just a lot of things that we don't know, that we need to know in order to help.
I don't know, something like that.
40,000 a month before that. Okay.
Yeah, it's up and down.
Bull.
Up and down.
Okay.
It's like the 10th time he said that already.
Yeah. Sounds like the problem to me.
You can bring in 80 in 1 month, and then
That's cap, bro. 80 cap.
But I thought your biggest month was 50. How do we get to 80?
How do you go from 80 to 5? How do you go from 80 to 5? Unbelievable, dude.
Oh, I can't stand this guy.
If you can do 80 with the consulting business, why are you not just doubling down on the consulting business? Why are you trying to get into trading?
you can bring in 0. You know, so
Okay, man. So let's say, obviously, if it is a lot of up and down, and you've been doing it for the last 14 years, what would you say you make on a yearly basis then? If the months are very inconsistent, surely over the year it's consistent then.
You keep assuming you're like putting him in a fragile box where it's like, I don't want to like ruffle this guy's feathers, but ruffling his feathers is exactly what gives you the truth. He's not telling you the truth. He's lying to you.
at least a quarter mil.
At least a quarter mil, which that doesn't make any sense. How can you do $80,000 in a single month and you only do 250 grand for the entire year? Sounds like 1 month is 80 and then all the rest are 5.
Fraser, do you know
He's
why he's
not-
telling you all these numbers?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you know why he's telling you all these different numbers?
Do I know why?
Yeah. Do you know why?
Because he don't know himself.
that too. But it's because he thinks he can get away with it with you. In his mind, he thinks this guy is not sharp enough to realize that I'm lying through his teeth, because the longer he is moving past it and not challenging, the longer he believes that I'm saying the right thing. That's what's going through his mind. As soon as, if you do start challenging him and you start putting him in his place, he's going to start to realize he can't do that anymore. Or he can't keep doing that, because nobody wants to be challenged by somebody, right? They'd much rather just give you the answer than get challenged. So if you just started challenging him earlier on, you would have gotten like straight through the facade quicker, and he wouldn't have kept saying, I feel like I can bullshit through this guy. Because that's what he's thinking right now, which is why he's giving you 5 million different numbers. Like, that's why people like lie, because they think that they can get away with it with that person. People don't lie when they know that that person is sharp, they're 10 steps ahead, and they're going to call them out because they're sharp, right?
Yeah. And when the ego starts to get inflamed, which it will, that's where we're even more patient and we're more understanding, but we're still firm. We're firm. I love the line that Itai gave. Like, between you and I, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm trying to help you, and I can't help you if you're not telling me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so are you looking to, with the trading?
Because you see, you immediately take it at face value, even though that's not true. He just lied to you.
Yeah.
Because he said at
Too
least
trusting.
$250,000. I'm like, either you're not making that and you're lying, or you are making it, but you're spending so much of it, you don't even know where it's going. I'm like, are you tracking your income, brother? Like, what is this guy's accountant doing? What is his CPA doing? Does he have a CPA? What about his taxes? How does he not know how much money he makes?
Just match your current income to replace it, or you're looking to add on top of what you currently do?
Oh, it depends. I mean, with trading, I believe you can, if you get the right formula, I believe you can make millions a year. You know, because I've seen it done, and I know people that's in it. You know, so
Okay.
and it's, yeah. I mean, I got people I know that's in it that's making millions, and a lot of, you know, some probably will ask if I know the people that does it that make millions. Why wouldn't you go to them? Well, a lot of times people don't got time.
For you, I get so for you then, is it just the first initial goal is just to replace your current income
Assumption.
Mm-hmm.
and then go full time?
Well, not necessarily, because
You see, with these ego guys, the reason that they keep saying no, not necessarily that, it's this, is because we're not pinning them down on their answers and getting the clarity around the answers they're giving. It's very surface level.
Yeah.
And then we make assumptions that are not accurate, and that lowers their trust.
Yeah. Did you realize, Fraser, how minute 11 you asked him why he wants to make money and he didn't tell you why? So you had to go back to minute 20 and then ask him again. And then the way you asked him was now an assumption. And then he said no. So it's like, now you're just losing leverage. I mean, there wasn't much leverage to begin with, to be honest with you. But now you're like losing more of what you had to start off with. Because when you start assuming and then your prospects correct you and say no, then you kind of like, you know, look a bit retarded to them. Just, you know?
Yeah.
That's why you can't assume, especially with like these high ego prospects. You can tell them the grass is green. They'll tell you, no, the grass is red. It's like, you can't say those things to these kind of people, which is it just straight up by the kind of questions that you're asking them. You can't like make a statement and then make that a question. You have to make it like open-ended and let them answer and then probe and clarify off of that. You get me?
Yeah.
No assumptions. Let's try and get some ground on this, brother.
So what's the,
I would still get other people on the business, you know, to run it.
Okay. So could potentially be he wants to delegate some of his consulting business to other people so that he has more free time. Free time could be the goal. I don't know, because he hasn't really told us yet. But I also don't know how much he's making. I think he's lying about that.
Trading to me is just good for the simple fact that if you understand it, it's just another form of wealth that you understand, just like with real estate and anything else. You have to understand these things if you want to get to another level in life. You just can't. You just have to. Just like if you run into a millionaire trader, 9 out of 10, he's gonna have to still understand some form of real estate that's another part of wealth. You know, if you make millions in stocks and stuff like that, but you have no collateral, you're still missing out at a significant part of wealth. So if I understand real estate and I understand these different things, I have to start to understand the stock market as well too. I have to start to understand different trades as well too. You just put in all these things together to bigger your portfolio.
For you, then it's just an extra source of income for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, but if I get to a level, when I get to another level of understanding this field, is about if I get to enjoy it, then I will probably want to just do it more because of the enjoyment. Money is not too much of a motivation. Money is cool. It's just a current. But
you're making
everybody make
50
money.
to 80K a month in your other business. Why would we even need to do that? Right? Like, aren't you enjoying making 50 to 80K a month right now? I mean, that's, I don't know, like $500,000 to almost a mil a year, actually. Are you not enjoying it right now? What's going on? I'd be enjoying it. I mean, I don't know about you, but
we know he's not making it. He's lying.
Right.
50 to 80K a month would be 625K to like 800K a year. But it's funny how these guys, they always start trying to like teach you how life works and teach you their philosophy behind acquiring more freedom.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like I didn't ask you to teach me. Like, I didn't ask for any of this. What made you feel the need to say that? What made you feel the need to like teach me how this works? Just curious.
A trader could make millions, like a real estate investor could make millions, but they ain't gonna necessarily make you happy. It's if it's cool, if it's fun, if it's a good rush. If I could be overseas somewhere and I can make a nice amount of money trading, you know, in the beginning of the day, and I'm like, oh, okay, I made a nice. It's the feeling of
money for you right now is completely not an issue.
So you keep making these assumptions. Do you see that? Money is the issue, or he wouldn't be on the call.
Yeah.
Across the board.
What? That I won't say that. I mean, because
bro, it's so interesting. Like he would tell you the truth if you pinned him down. He is humble to an extent. Most of these guys would be like, yeah, no, money's not an issue, and then you would disqualify them, and they just leave the call. But he's telling you the truth. He's like, no, I didn't say that. Like money is important to me. I'm not making enough money to have the freedom that I want to have. And then he also said, like, trading is like another level of wealth. Well, what does wealth mean to this guy specifically? Like, what is he trying to achieve? What type of life is he trying to live? Because based on what he's doing right now, he doesn't have the freedom to do what he wants to do. Otherwise, he wouldn't be trying to find different ways to make more money. He would just double down on the consulting business. There's something missing in this equation.
Can't be assuming, brother.
Yeah, no assuming.
I ain't got 100 million in bank. So
but you're not looking when you go outside to the
what do you have in the bank? He'd be like, well, man, I don't need to tell you that.
To the groceries, checking your bank account. That's what I'm sort of mean.
Well, it wouldn't even be good for me to be on this call if it was an issue, to tell you the truth, because I mean,
wait, hold on. This sounds juicy.
Of understanding this field is about if I get to enjoy it, then I will probably want to just do it more because of the enjoyment. Money is not too much of a motivation. Money is cool. It's just it is a currency. Everybody make money.
Cool.
A trader could make millions, like a real estate investor could make millions, but they ain't gonna necessarily make you happy. It's if it's cool, if it's fun, if it's a good rush. If I could be overseas somewhere and I can make a nice amount of money trading, you know, in the beginning of the day, and I'm like,
so there's a level of freedom that he wants that he doesn't have right now. So sitting and chunking down in the consulting business would have been the best use of time, in my opinion. Chunking down on the income, chunking down on the stress, chunking down on the fact that he can't delegate and he's been stuck in this business for a long time and he hasn't been able to scale it. And it's stressful and he wants out. That would have been the best use of time.
oh, okay, I made a nice. It's the feeling of
money for you right now is completely not an issue.
Wouldn't go there.
Well, that I won't say that. I mean, because I ain't got 100 million in the bank. So
how much do you have in the bank? He brought it in the conversation. I'm going to have the conversation. How much do you have in the bank right now?
I did ask that later on. He didn't want to discuss that.
Of course not.
Why do you think?
Of course not. Why do you think that is?
He's broke.
It's up and down, like always.
Yeah. It's not in his bank account. It's on his on his neck.
Yeah, which is like a $10 chain from Temu. Let's just be honest.
You're not looking when you go out outside to the groceries, checking your bank account.
Okay, so once again, you're putting him in a box. Like, oh, dude, you're better than me, is how you're treating this guy. When he's not. He's not. He needs to be talked to just like any other prospect would be talked to.
That's what I mean.
Well, it wouldn't even be good for me to be on this call if it was an issue, to tell you the truth.
It wouldn't even be good for me to be on this call if it wasn't an issue. So he's alluding to the fact that he's not in the financial position that he wants to be in right now. What I hear him saying is like, I wouldn't be on this call if money wasn't the driver, if I didn't want to be in a better position.
True, because that means I'll get on this call of desperation.
I don't know what he means by that.
So if I get on call of desperation,
In the mindset of abundance.
yeah, that means I'm gonna be blinded by everything you tell me because I'm gonna just want the money so bad. Now I want to learn the technique of it because
All ego with this guy.
it's smart for you to learn the technique of.
Well, you've been doing it for 3 years, so why haven't you learned the technique in 3 years? Why haven't we learned the technique? Why are we only at $500 a month with trading, being that we've been doing it for 3 years?
Take advantage of the system. You have to try to take advantage of each system you go into, And I just know that that's just
Man, this guy needs to pay his internet bill. I can't even hear what he's saying.
you want to make something. I'm not desperate for money. I'm not hurting for money. The only reason I'm not hurting for money.
Never said you
it's
are.
not that important.
No one said you were. Yeah. So what makes you want to tell me that? What's behind you wanting to tell me that you're not hurting for money? Let's have that conversation.
It's just that I got to take advantage of the system. So,
Take
so I can
advantage.
build
So-
once. That's it.
Okay, so I can see that you're obviously a long-term thinker, and
So
Is he?
Fraser, listen. I don't think
Is he Fraser?
What's behind
Nah,
what
so
you're
I was
saying?
just like, I don't know what at this point, as you said, it's a bit of word salad. I'm lost because this is the first call where I've not understood their goal or reason behind why they're on the call. Every other reason I've not been able to close someone is for a different reason, and I Sam and Tristan can testify to this that I've stuck around until I've got a goal, but. Obviously, with this guy, I don't know what it was. Obviously, by now I do, but I've just let him slip by and not nailed him on the language. So at this point, the call, I know the call's, cooked. But
Yeah.
you're
Mhm.
trying to build big and masses of wealth. Where do you? Is it more so for you then that you want to have a high net worth and have multiple different streams of income?
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
It's just like, again, like another assumption. Your questions are all assumptions. And he's just going to say yes or no, or yes or no, or yes or no. And then what are you going to say? Next question. It's like you can't really do much. Like asking questions that it's you are making this call a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Like we might look at this call and say, wow, this was a really hard call. No, it doesn't have to be. It actually could have been much easier than how it was done. If you just got clarity on why he wants to make money in the very beginning, and you started like probing and clarifying off of that, and you had more clarity on like his actual current situation, then we wouldn't have to be going back and forth here like about money for like 10 fucking minutes. And let's just be honest, like you didn't really get anything out of it. You didn't really give you much. So that was like 10 minutes gone to waste. And now like there's just like no momentum happening in the conversation. And he's just talking about like these strategies and like, oh, if I have these strategies, then I could do great. Like, okay, cool. But like where, like what's even happening right now? Like what's really going on? It's like a whole lot of nothing is going on. It's like it's just like dead spaces. For what, 40 minutes? How long was this call?
I
yeah,
would assume
around
like
40 minutes.
Yeah.
probably longer.
It's like 40 minutes of nothing. You know what I mean? Like there's no substance to this. It's just him like lying through his teeth to you and telling you what he wants you to know about him. But like without any of these challenging, like it's just going to happen the entire time. You know, if you have a kid and he throws a fit in public settings and he always yells, and you never like slap him or be like, yo, like, don't do that, he's gonna keep doing that. Like, you're not disciplining bad behavior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to discipline bad behavior. Him lying, him giving you ambiguous answers, him like deflecting responsibility and generalizing in his responses. Like, this is like blood in the fucking water. And something has to be done about it. If not, in his mind, he's going to think, okay, well, I'm saying the right things because he's not challenging me. That's what he's thinking. You get challenged when they're saying something incorrect. They're saying something that you disagree with. Say something that's not right, yeah? But if none of that's happening, they're just thinking the entire time, I'm saying the right things, and he's buying into it and he's believing it. Cool, I got him. That's how I see this call.
As let's say in the next year or so, where would you like your net worth to be sitting at?
As high as it can. Yeah.
Oh, no,
As a rough
more
person,
than-
but yeah, probably like 3 million.
3 million in the next year.
Man, what happened to
Somewhere around-
250K? I thought we were shooting
Yeah.
for 250. Wow, 3? Man, you're just so driven and hungry. Like 3 million, man. I love that you shoot for the stars, man. Like, I wish I could be like you. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, you can use that against him. He says 3 million in 1 year. And I'm like, where are you at right now? Where are you at
5K
right
a month.
now?
This is what
Yeah.
I do ask him this. He didn't want to share.
Yeah.
3 mil. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And where is it? currently
Liquid, not
Liquid, great.
Liquid. Okay, cool.
net worth. Just overall, I will want it to be in like 10
Okay, liquid, dude. Let's talk liquid.
million or something. But liquid
Okay.
wise, I will want it to be in like 3 million.
Phenomenal. Let's do it.
And where we sort
Pay your internet, man.
of sitting at currently?
Seriously.
I don't know. I'll have to put all that together.
Oh, it's always that. I'd have to put all that together.
What happened? Did she just?
Estimate if it is it close anywhere close to the 3 mil or
Stop assuming. Like, you don't have to give me an exact number. Where are you at right now? Where are you at right now? Because I'm trying to build a bridge for you to get there, brother. You want to get there, right? So where are you at right now? If a fat guy comes to me and he says, oh, I want to lose 100 pounds in 1 year. I'm like, great. Where are you at right now? And he can't tell me. How far are we going to go? Not far. So is it that you don't know the answer, or is it that you don't like the answer you have to give?
Ooh, that's good.
What is it? This is where the temperature changes, and he stops squirming around and flinging that little chain around, and he locks in, and his face gets in that camera, and we start having a real conversation.
Mm-hmm.
we're talking just tens of thousands or hundreds?
Yeah.
Okay, assumption again.
Few hundreds of thousands.
So he just took the frame. He took the frame. The conversation went where he wanted it to go, and it didn't go where he didn't want it to go.
He closed you.
Yeah.
He
So
closed you.
we can stay on for a little bit longer, just for like general Q&A. I've got the whole next 20-30 minutes free. But
Let's do it.
Fraser, what are your takeaways on what we watched?
Don't do a call review with so many people again. Nah, stop assuming so much, and stop being so trusting. Really listen for the language, and if the math ain't mathing, then obviously drill them on that.
Good. Who else has takeaways?
No takeaways.
Your
Intelligent people.
oh sorry. I was gonna say your authority is everything. The way that you carry your frame is gonna be everything as well. Because as you see, a bunch of time was wasted because the right questions weren't asked. He was beating around the bush with a lot of different things. If you don't ask the right questions, you're not gonna get the direction that you're supposed to take this client to actually get the information you need to close them. I mean, this guy was just playing games essentially, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, what objection did he even give you if you guys mentioned that?
Yeah, so he gave me, it was at the end, just like, I'm treating this like a business venture. I want to do my due diligence, check you guys out more.
Exactly. And he's been trying to do this for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, what more research does he even need? So, yeah, holding your frame, being a leader, and making this guy have to sit there and tell you the truth, obviously, as Tristan and Itai said, is what's going to get you to that close. So that's what I learned on this call. Tristan used to embed this into me all the time, and I watch a lot of Itai's calls too. So, dude, yeah, never ever let somebody do that to you again, bro. Like, you're the professional here.
Yeah. Challenging equals respect. Challenging equals respect. Challenging does not equal them getting pissed off at you or running away from taking responsibility. It does the inverse.
Yeah. I mean, ask yourself this, like, who are your best friends? The ones that like call you out on your bullshit, or the ones that like always just like tell you what you want to hear, the ones that just like make you feel good about yourself, are always just nice to you, but they're lying to your face, right? Like, who are you going to trust more? Who are you going to respect more? Which person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, be that same person for that prospect, because you're not here to be his friend either. You're also not here to interrogate him, but you're here to like call him out and help him. If he was honest and he was congruent with what he says and what he does, he wouldn't be on the call with you. So we can't take anything he says at face value. Like, I do not believe a word my prospects tell me. Like, I'm skeptical of my prospects. You get me? It's not like they're skeptical of me. It's the other way around. You have to be skeptical of them. That's how you should look at it.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing, obviously, is apart from the assuming, really, as I said, be skeptical around what they're actually telling me, not take it at face value.
Yeah. Like, I would have to do due diligence over my prospect. You get it? It's like
Yeah.
that would make more sense than them having to do due diligence. Me, I've done what I said I'm going to do. What about you? Have you? Well, why should I trust you? It's
Yeah.
like flip the script. Yeah. Should we do some questions?
Yeah, let's do it. Who's got questions? Evandro.
So I was just watching a call from Itai from your course, Tristan, and it was literally 38 minutes. He was selling like I want to say online marketing something, right? There was 38 minutes. There was zero talk about the actual business that he was selling. He was just kind of, okay, what about this? What about that? Why this? What does it make you feel? And almost at times, because I'm very inexperienced on this, I felt redundant. Like I was like, Itai, you already kind of asked that. You didn't, right? Because he gave a different answer. So I, clearly know something I don't. But it's like, why? Why? And the kid is like, and why? And the kid is like, man, because. What about your dad? How would that make him feel? And I'm like, guys, what are we even doing? Like, I mean, I like it. I'm just want to learn that to the sake that there was no talk at all about the business. And then the transition was crazy. I never seen anything like that. He was like, all right, do you want some help with that? And then the kid was like, yes, please. I want some help with that. Man, you didn't even ask the guy about his business. So it was great. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or just kind of.
What's the question? Is it like why don't we talk about the business?
No, the question is that it? Is that the piece? Or let's answer that question. That's a good question. Like, why don't you go talk about the business? And is that what I have to focus on? Is 30 minutes eight like a pattern for you guys? Meaning, of course, sometimes it takes longer than last. But my point is like that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make him lenient and trust you and respect you, not knowing even what you do because you have that credibility. Just a little confused. Sorry if the question is not the most clear, but thank you.
No, don't apologize, bro. The business is the vehicle. The business can be anything. It can be e-commerce. It could be YouTube. It could be TikTok Shop. It could be AI. It could be fucking anything. That is just a vehicle to help them get the outcome that they want. That is irrelevant. What is relevant is what it is that they want, how long have they wanted it, and why hasn't it happened? And you can substitute any business for that. So that's why we don't talk about the business, because that's not the point here, right? If it was about the business, wouldn't we just pitch them and they would just buy every time? But that doesn't work that way, right? So it's obviously not that. The big reason is what's been getting in your way internally that has prevented you from taking necessary actions that you say you've been wanting to take or that you need to take. That is what I focus my calls around. That is what Tristan focuses his calls around. That is what any elite closer focuses their calls around. And the pitch, well, that's the only part we talk about the business, for those 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. But that's not going to get them over the line. It's why haven't they taken, what's gotten in their way from taking action and doing what they said they wanted to do? What's it cost them? Will it continue to cost them? Who do they need to be to make sure that doesn't happen? So it's what's the only logical thing to do at the end of the call? It's to take action, right? Because that's how we lead them. That's what we lead them to do. We don't lead a person by talking about a business and the features of the business and how it works. Nobody gives a fuck about the business that they're pursuing. It's what it will do for them. Who will it allow them to become? What it will allow them to do? How will people view them? How they'll view themselves? That is what moves a person. That is what moves you. That is what moves me. That is what moves Tristan. Everybody in this call. Yeah. Nobody got into high ticket sales because, oh, I want to learn how to handle objections and do discovery. People got into high ticket sales because, yeah, we want to make a lot of money, but there's things we want to prove to ourselves. I'm sure we all have somebody in our life doubting us, right? Something we want to prove to them, prove to us, the kind of person that we want to be for ourselves, for our future families. That's why we do it. So what makes this prospect any different than you? You got me? Amazing. Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, kind of just actually piggybacking off of that. I've already asked Tristan this and got his thoughts, but I just want to know your thoughts because I kind of work now more in a B2B scenario. So I struggle to be what's the biggest reason you're looking to, make money through the solution? Because it's well, this is my income. I have a business already, and so, I'm looking to scale. So I kind of feel I run into a brick wall in a sense. What I do now is I say what's the biggest challenge you have, but it's getting into the logistics of the business and everything instead of getting the emotional goal slash reason. It's what would be a better way to workshop that at the top of the call? So I
Yeah,
can
what's behind you wanting to scale? It's you got to keep going, right?
right.
And then see what they tell you then. As soon as you get into the weeds on the business and the very specific details, that's where you find yourself stuck, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we don't really know about the business as
Right.
as much as they do because they've been in it. But even if we did, that's not what the conversation should be focused about. Because the business, how well the business does is a product of them.
Mm-hmm.
They run the business, right? They're operating the business. So why don't we talk about them instead of the business? Because if they don't work, there's no business.
Right. So, just I know that this is a mirror question because you just answered it, but if you do that though, and they're well, is it kind of the same thing? If it was B2C and someone's because I just want to make more money, you just have to
But they don't
keep
just want to make more money. You can't believe that. Nobody
right.
just wants to make more money.
No,
And if they tell you, I just want to make more money, they're already downplaying it too, right? By saying just. It'll get difficult if you don't clarify. It'll get easy if you do clarify. And what's behind them wanting to make more money?
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I know that was kind of redundant, but that was good for me. That was clear.
All good. I think Darnia, you had a question?
I did have a question, but you answered it earlier and it came back to me. But another thing that I was wondering, I've watched a bunch of your call recordings. I don't know, from different platforms actually. You're probably the calmest person I've ever seen, actually being on calls. I don't know, there's just I've never seen anyone have the same energy. Is there anything that you do before the call, or yeah, just
Yeah.
how do you? I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting. If someone tells you the craziest stuff ever, I don't know, you're just unfazed. I never see any kind of emotion on your face ever.
Yeah, I do a cold plunge for 2 hours every morning. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Just messing. No,
Yeah.
there's
This is just come with
this
experience.
is just how I talk. This is how Tristan talks. Like this is how we close. That's because that's us. That's who we are. I've never been one to be
Hmm.
like all like, like, you know, upbeat and like high octane, like car salesman energy. Like that's just not me.
Yeah.
It's not Tristan. Like the way we're talking to you on this call is how we talk in, you know, in our sales calls, you know, in our content. That's consistent. So for you, like don't try to sound like me or Tristan or anybody else. Like the way you talk is how you should talk to your prospects,
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
that's you.
The reason it stood out to me is my first couple of offers, I was told like I have to smile because I have this like naturally like I don't know, my face is I just look angry. When I'm focused, I look angry.
Mm,
So naturally I was always like told to smile. So I'm
hmm.
like, damn, but these guys are doing it differently. Like you guys have different energy around it.
I mean,
So
it's not a
I
problem.
don't know.
Smile when you need to, you know? It's like if there's a reason for you to smile, smile. If there's no reason, then don't. Like be a human. You know what I mean?
Another yeah. Then another thing that stood out to me is intonation, like tonality. How
Mm.
do you define, like, for example, let's say you're calling out the prospect, right? Like you're challenging the other person. How do you pose it? Like, what kind of, like, how do you decide what tonality to use so that there's not much resistance? I'd say that, like,
I
one thing that I've
don't
noticed you guys, both you and Tristan, you just calm down.
I don't think I mean Tristan can attest to this. Like we never like decide what we're gonna do, like what tonality we're gonna do at a certain moment. Like it happens because like we're just present in the conversation.
Hmm.
Like when somebody says something concerning, like naturally we will like say something in like a concerned way because in our minds, like,
Right.
whoa, that concerns me. Like, let me ask a question like in that way. Or this doesn't make sense. Like I would ask a question sounding confused. It's not something I decide to do or not decide to do. I'm just so present in the conversation that that's just like what comes out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or if somebody says like something like powerful and deep, like since I'm present in the conversation and Tristan does this too, like we'll sometimes just like sit there and like stare at them for a few seconds because it was powerful, it was big, right? It was like a lot to take in because it was a lot for us to take in too because we're
Yeah.
speaking with the prospect, right? So it's nothing that like we consciously just it's subconscious because when you're present in a conversation and you know like you were there with your prospect like 100%, then there's a lot less thinking that you have to do, and the things that happen. Tristan
Mhm.
could he would say like the same exact thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. I'd say someone wrote this as well. Like when you're not present, when you're thinking ahead of time, it's hard to be present in the conversation. So I feel
Mhm.
like that was also the issue. Like
Yeah.
I would often think like, what's the next question I'm gonna ask?
Think of the
And
best calls
yeah,
you've had, right? Were you thinking in those calls? Were you thinking of what you're gonna say next? Like, or were you just
no,
like you were just like there, right?
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'd say
I'd say
okay.
the biggest issue is all these people are trying to get you to do things the way that they would do things, and you lose track on how you would do it and how you would approach it and what you would say and how you think and how you'd respond. So it's a framework. It's not a lifeline. You're not a
Hmm.
robot. They're not either. And one thing that you can do to help yourself improve in that area would be having deeper conversations with the people around you outside of just sales and really focusing on prioritizing them. Um, like as an example, in human to human interactions at times, especially when I first got into high ticket, I felt like I had regressed socially. Like I would be talking to people and I would be so like uncomfortable and I'd be focusing on myself and how people were viewing me and I would even feel it in my face. Like I wasn't even focusing at all on what other people were saying. I wasn't present with them. And anytime I notice that I'm doing that, because it still happens from time to time, I put all the focus, all the attention on the other person and I'll lock in on their face and their mouth and what words are coming out of their mouth. And that helps me to not think too deeply about myself and become more present with the person. Same thing in sales.
Mhm.
When you go into your own brain and you're like, what do I say? How should I respond? What's the best thing to do? You constantly have to train yourself to go back on the person and what they're telling you. And if you're ever confused, just tell them you're confused and get some ground on the conversation. And that will help you ask better questions to get better answers.
That's very true. Thank you. Thank you.
You're your own person. You don't need to be me. You don't need to be Itai. You don't need to be anyone else other than yourself. And I mean, Itai took a framework from me and he's invested into a lot of different sales trainings, but he's still himself. He's not another person. He's him. And he just uses what he learns, just like I have, to be the best version of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyone else? I'll do one more question. Carlos, you look like you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Yeah. Get some new headphones, brother.
Yeah. I just got a new mic, but I was gonna say I got two questions. I feel like you guys answered this already sometimes, but in terms of like energy, right? You know, I mean, Itai, you already know I'm about to take like 10 or 12, maybe even 13 calls a day, right? Um, and I noticed that like by the time I'm like at the sixth, seventh call, I'm like sometimes I stop kind of caring about it. Kind of sucks even saying that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, right? And then I started drinking energy drinks. I don't even drink energy drinks, but I feel like that's even messing me up now.
This is a question for Tristan because he's been on the energy drinks and he got off of them. Tristan, this
Yeah.
one's all you.
See this,
So,
Carlos? See this
yeah.
right here? That's coffee, brother.
Coffee.
I was ripping, dude. I would do 2 to 3 energy drinks every single day for over 3 years. And towards the end of my days, especially towards the end, I had no energy, dude. Drained, foggy in my brain, couldn't focus. And now I'm married, right? So that doesn't work. That's failure mode. Because my wife also runs a business. So I can't just sit there and be like, babe, I'm too tired. Like, I can't do this. I have to prioritize other people other than myself. So I told her when I got married that I would cut energy drinks. So I got off of them completely. And I only drink coffee if I need energy. And it's completely changed my mental fatigue, my mental tiredness, my focus. Highly recommend. But to your point, dude, if you're not present on those calls towards the end of the day and you're gassing out, you're not helping those people. You should not be taking that amount of calls. You should take, say, 6, 7, 8 calls and figure out what is the threshold, because there's nothing wrong with being fatigued and feeling tired towards the last conversations, but there's something wrong with giving a 20% effort with somebody. So I would make those adjustments. Only you know what that is for yourself, but no energy drinks. That's what I would say.
Dude, I'd rather you take 6 calls a day than 12. Like you're like, are you looking to like do this for a month and then like F off the space, or are you looking for longevity? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're looking for longevity and staying consistent, then like put yourself in a position to be that way. So take those 6 calls, dude, or give them to Vincent, but take those 6 calls. Yeah. Don't take 12. Taking 12 calls in a day is it's honestly retarded. Like you're just gonna gas out and just it's not gonna be good. It's gonna affect your performance way worse than you think it will. Now, if it's like, okay, you have 12 calls on your calendar and 6 of them show, fine, different story. I get it. But if they're all showing, like, bro, energy drinks or coffee ain't gonna save you either.
Vincent is, I got you, bro. If you need me to take calls, like I'm there. Just let me know.
And you're on 2 offers already. So
Fuck it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
We're gonna end it here. Thanks for coming on. This is fun. Thank you, Itai, for giving
Absolutely.
us.
Thanks for having me, brother. Always a pleasure.
We'll keep doing these. Time to implement. Don't just listen and look at the Fathom later. Study it, take notes, implement, and it'll help you in your conversations.
Let's go. Let's piff today, guys.
Let's piff. Have fun on your calls. Good luck. Bye, y'all.